Hey, welcome back, weirdos. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm so glad you're here. And yes, I did a thing. So Revel came out with these new little tips, and I was so excited to try them out. They sent me over a ton of stuff. Thank you so much to Revel. Revel is also sponsoring this video, so huge thank yous to Revel. I'm going to leave everything I'm using today down in the box, but I wanted a clean start anyway. I figured let me do a chop and we're going to apply some tips. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Now you can tell probably maybe that I cut my nails pretty short. I find the best way to do that, or to apply tips for that matter, is to start with short nails. And I'm just going to push back my cuticle area. You can do this with a bunch of different tools that you probably already have. I'm going to use an orange wood stick because it is super gentle. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all of my nails. Then I'm going to buff my nails a little bit to remove shine. This step is going to depend on your nail type. If you have issues with product adhesion, you may want to use a file instead of a buffer. I would use probably a 180 grit file and just rough your nails up slightly. I'm just going to take the shine off my nail, dehydrate them with some nail dehydrator, and then we're going to get into tip application. So I've got my nails prepped. They are ready to go. I am going to put on peel base only because that's always how I do things. You should not put on peel base if you want your mani to last any period of time. Peel base is not meant for longevity. I get maybe 2 to 3 days out of peel base. So just a note there. These are the stiletto tips. I chose to do those. Handy dandy instructions on the back of these boxes. There's also a QR code right here you can scan for more helpful instructions. I'm going to go and unbox this. I wasn't sure what to expect from a new nail tip thing, but these are so unbelievably adorable. Now, I have used a good bit of nail tips in the 100 years I've been doing this. These I really appreciate. The size range is beautiful. I think it's from 0 to about 12. Their sizes are on this little tab at the end, which is so convenient. Here are the tips that I picked out for myself. You'll size them, of course, according to your own nails. I'm going to go ahead and apply these with the Revel Dip Base. Dip base liquid, I should say, is essentially glue. So you can use your dip base to apply nail extensions. I'm going to go ahead and put this just in the edge where the tip will meet my natural nail. You don't want a whole lot because it will take forever to dry. I'm putting just a little bit on that edge area, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply that directly to my nail. I'm going to hold it in place for about 10 seconds before I let it go and release it, just to make sure it's got a good secure hold, and then I'm going to leave it alone and move on to the next nail. So I'm going to get these on all of the nails. And then we're going to remove the tab at the end, which is super simple. I'm going to rock it back and forth a little bit just to get it moving, and then they twist right off. So something to note about these tips, and I'm not sure if you can gauge from the video, but they are so thin and flush to the natural nail, and I really love that. It's going to take no effort to get these built. So before I start dip, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that little nub at the end of the nail where the tab was and get a little bit of a rough shape going. These did not require a whole lot of anything. Really, I just wanted to remove that tab, make sure they were fitted to my sidewalls, and now I'm going to buff the shine off the tip. This will help your dip adhere to that nail tip. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning up the sidewalls, and then we're going to get into building up this nail, forming a little bit of an apex, and I'll walk you through all of that. So I grabbed my good buddy Erica. I'm going to use her to build these nails. I'm going to use Erica for the entire manicure. I'll do a little gel nail art in the end because Revel has some new gel polishes too that I want to show you. But here's what's my first, this is the first dip. Do I know English? I'm going to go in kind of a triangle formation from about the center of the nail to the free edge. And that is all I'm going to do for the first dip. So this is what your first dip will look like. My second dip will be about, I don't know, a few hairlines away from the cuticle area. I'm not going all the way back yet. I think I'm doing 4 dips in total. And this is going to help build up that nail a little bit. These are not super long. If you are doing longer extensions, you may require more effort to build them up. But for me and for this length, this is what I felt cozy doing. So I'm going to go ahead and get the second tip on all of the nails, and here's what they are looking like so far. Now I'm going to take this all the way up to my cuticle area, and I'm going to do this twice, 2 full dips at the cuticle area, and then we can activate. So here's what we're looking like, and just to recap, that was a half dip, about a 3/4 dip, and then 2 full dips. So 4 dips total, and now I'm going to activate. You can do a coat of clear if you wanted to on top of that, but I felt comfortable with the strength of the nails at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and activate. I do 2 coats of activator. That's a me thing. You probably don't have to, but I do that just to be on the safe side, make sure everything is completely cured when I go to file and buff. I'm going to file and buff off camera, but I will leave in the cards my whole filing routine in case you want to see how I do that. And then here we are, filed and shaped and buffed, and these are looking beautiful. I have literally no complaints. I really enjoyed using these nail tips. I think they are incredibly easy to use if you want a little bit of length. I'm going to get rid of the excess dust before we start with a little bit of nail art, and wait to see this. I have been seeing this trend literally everywhere, and did I want to do it when it was trendy? No, because I'm not that girl. But now that it's maybe a little past the trend, now I want to do it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take, this is Agave, by the way. It's a Revel Mate. They came out with a bunch of gel polishes to match their dip patterns, which I think is brilliant. So I'm going to take Agave, which looks a little bit sheer, and it is, but it's very buildable, and I love the formula of this. I'm going to put this on the entire ring nail. I'm going to do 2 coats, curing for 30 seconds each, and then we're going to do a free edge French on the middle and a cuticle French on the index, and you're going to see it all come together. If you're wondering what lamp I'm going to use, it's going to be this one. This is the new lamp from Revel Nail. They just launched this too. I was so excited when they told me about it. I couldn't wait to give it a try. It works beautifully. It has all the things you need to cure your gel polish, whatever other gel products you're going to use. I love it. So I'm going to go in with my second coat of Agave. I'm going to give that a cure, and then that nail's pretty much going to be done. We're going to leave that one alone. I thought about doing some other kind of crazy nail art on it, but I really wanted to keep this super simple and just show you how I would do an everyday wearable manicure for myself, which is pretty much what this is. So I'm going to go ahead and cure that second coat for another 30 seconds. Then I'm going to show you how I did a French on the free edge and near the cuticle. So I'm going to use the same polish, the same Agave gel polish. And for the free edge French, now I know that this can be a little bit intimidating. It was for me when I first started. I'm going to use a nail art brush. You can use the brush that came in the bottle, but I find I have more control over a nail art brush like this. And I'm just going to draw what I think is a French line. And I realize this is completely up for interpretation. You can make your French manicure look as deep or as straight as you want to. This is just how I like it for myself. So I'm going to go ahead and get that line down, fill it in at the free edge, and once I'm happy with it, I'm going to cure it for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to do a second coat. So now that nail is pretty much done, and we're going to move on to the cuticle French, which is pretty much a regular French, just backwards, upside down. It's near the cuticle area, you get the point. So I'm going to go ahead very carefully with my nail art brush and the gel polish and get that in the cuticle area. I would tell you to exercise some caution in doing a cuticle French look. It is super easy to flood your cuticles, but I find the formula of the Revel gel polish very user-friendly, and I didn't have any issues really with flooding at all. You're gonna see me clean up a little bit in my sidewall area. That was completely my own fault, but for the most part, this was really easy to accomplish. So I'm gonna go ahead and cure that once I'm happy with it. Then I'm gonna do one more coat and then we can top coat. So I'm going to go ahead and top coat. I'm going to use the glossy no wipe gel top coat from Revel Nail. They did send over also a matte gel top coat and a stain resistant gel top, which I haven't tried yet, but believe I'm going to. So stay tuned if you want to see that at some point coming up in the future. So here's what we are looking like, top coated and beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and do the thumbnail. I know I never show you thumbkin, and my thumb was feeling a little left out, so I'm going to show you. I'm top coating thumbkin. I also figured I'd show you how I put my hand in the lamp when I'm curing my thumb, because I don't think I really ever show you that either. So I'm leaving my thumb kind of parallel to the ground, and I'm leaving it like that in the lamp. I just find that when I'm curing my thumb, it cures best when I leave it flat like that instead of turning it on its side. So here is the finished manicure. I'm going to go ahead and rehydrate my skin and nails per usual. Revel sent me over their cuticle oil to check out. This one is the lavender fragrance, and it's so soft and beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and get this rubbed into the matrix of my nail. Fun fact, cuticle oil massaged into the matrix of the nail, which is that spot between your cuticle area and your first knuckle, can actually expedite nail growth if you're trying to grow out your nails. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we are done and out the door to go nowhere, because that's what I do. I go nowhere. But I actually really loved everything that Revel sent over to me. I have no complaints. I have nothing bad to say. Per usual, I've been a fan of Revel Nail for literally since the beginning of time, so I expected nothing less. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a day as gorgeous as you are, and I will catch you in the next one. Love you, bye.